Welcome to Week 3, where we focus on cloud deployment, DevOps, and security practices. The goal is to successfully move your product from localhost to a secure, deployed environment. Mastering this topic will ease your life when it comes to application deployment. This week's agenda covers 8 main topics. We'll start by preparing code for production and understanding environment variables. Then we'll deploy both the front-end and back-end and connect a cloud database. Finally, we will fix cores and configuration issues, add basic testing and CI/CD, apply OWASP security practices, and create deployment documentation. OWASP is Open Web Application Security Project. Kindly go through the top OWASP Top 10. Link is in the description. By the end of this week, you will be able to explain the difference between localhost and production environments, use environment variables safely, and deploy both front-end and back-end applications. You'll also configure cores, set up a basic GitHub Actions workflow, apply OWASP checks, prepare a deployment guide, and demo a live application. The students must deploy the Placement Cell Portal project that we have completed in WEEK2. The goal of this week is to ship the product, as a project becomes truly valuable when it is live and usable. This involves moving from local development to an internet-accessible deployment. We will separate hosting for the front-end, back-end, and database, utilize environment variables for secrets, and test API endpoints. Finally, we will apply security improvements and create a deployment guide. Localhost is for development and debugging on your machine. Production is the hosted, user-accessible environment. Configuration differs with local versus deployed URLs. Secrets must be handled with environment variables. Reliability means handling errors, restarts, and slow inputs. Security involves authorization, validation, hashing, and safe deployment settings. In the deployment architecture, a user opens the front-end URL. The front-end requests data from the back-end. The back-end validates the request, communicates with the cloud database, and receives records. The back-end then returns a JSON response to the front-end, which renders the updated user interface. Environment variables are essential for separating code from configuration. Never commit secrets directly to code or GitHub. Use .env files locally and platform settings in production. It is important to document required variable names without exposing their values. For front-end deployment, push your code to GitHub, import the repository into your deployment platform like Vercel or Netlify, and set the correct build command and output directory. Crucially, add the backend API URL as an environment variable and thoroughly test your deployed application. Missing the backend API URL will result in no response from the front-end. The backend deployment flow involves pushing code to GitHub, creating a web service, and connecting the repository. Set the build command to npm install and the start command appropriately. Add environment variables in the platform dashboard, and check server logs immediately after the first deploy. Test the health route and API endpoints using a tool like Postman. A cloud database connection requires a user with limited access and carefully configured network access rules. Copy the connection string and secure it as an environment variable. Always test the connection locally before deployment and verify CRUD operations after deployment. Do not expose credentials in public documents or screenshots. Cores controls which origins can call the backend. You must configure the backend cores setting to use the production front-end URL. Keep the front-end API base URL configurable, often using an environment variable. Test your configuration thoroughly using the browser's network panel and Postman. Basic CI/CD, using tools like GitHub Actions, automates checks upon code changes. CI means continuous integration, running checks, while CD means continuous delivery or deployment, shipping safely. Start simple with installing dependencies and running tests. A failed build must prevent unsafe changes from reaching users. A simple GitHub Actions workflow runs on push and pull requests. The workflow installs dependencies and runs tests or lint commands. This serves as a vital quality gate for student projects, ensuring code quality before merging or deploying. To learn more about GitHub Actions, link is given in the description section. Security should be integral to development, following the OWASP mindset. Implement broken access control checks on the backend. Prevent cryptographic failures by hashing passwords and using HTTPS. Validate inputs to prevent injection. Avoid security misconfiguration by hiding secrets and debugging errors. Enforce strong authentication practices and keep sufficient logs for investigation. After deployment, perform various tests. A smoke test checks the primary workflow, like opening the app and logging in. API tests use Postman against the deployed backend. Database tests confirm record creation. Invalid input tests verify handling of empty fields, invalid emails, and unauthorized access. Finally, regression tests ensure previous features still function, and responsive tests check display across different screen sizes. This is the 5-day implementation plan for week 3. It covers preparation, deployment of front-end and back-end, database connection, quality assurance, and setting up CI/CD with GitHub Actions. Evidence for success includes live URLs, cloud database screenshots, and a final live demo. Assessment and weekly deliverables emphasize live deployment, showing students can ship working applications. Evidence includes live URLs, a connected cloud database, a deployment guide, and a security checklist. You will also submit Postman screenshots and a weekly progress report. The study materials and reference links provide essential official documentation. These cover deployment platforms like Vercel and Render, MongoDB Atlas, node environment variables, and security concepts such as CORS and OWASP Top 10. They also include resources for GitHub Actions and Jest testing. To conclude this week, you need to run the lab, gather all required evidence, review GitHub commits, and record your weekly progress. Evidence includes code commits, screenshots, a working demo, a README, and reflection notes. Thank you for following this video.